Right edition, welcome and happy day. Hey, I got more news for you today from the right. I want to share coffee talk with you. 3 cups of coffee a day cuts liver cancer risk by 50%. The popular wisdom over the years has been, don't have any more than 2 cups of coffee a day. Hey, had I known this when back in my drinking days, I could have drank a lot more booze, you know. Well, coffee first and then booze. Cigar smuggling pigeons now are touching down at a gallery in New York City. This is kind of a fun story. The guys train pigeons to go to Cuba, and an accomplice there loads them up with cigars and they fly back, and he's got illegal cigars now in New York City. You got cigars, you got coffee, you got lots of things going on in life. And here's a crowdfunding rule that, while people are looking to make it a rule, the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission in the U.S. is looking at it. They're saying, hey, it's a little cumbersome right now. No kidding, with regard to people raising money. If you want to go into business, it's difficult, very difficult to get involved in the stock market, because even if you go to open up an account, what's your risk and what's this and what's that, and it's very difficult to get rich because they say, hey, you can't do this, and it takes forever. It's become complicated, right? And to raise money or to invest in a potential deal that you can make money from, you have to have a minimum net worth of at least $1 million, and it's not designed for the little guy, because Big Brother says, gotta look after the little guy. You always stay little if somebody's looking after you. I'm digressing a little bit, but in any event, now they are looking at crowdfunding, and that's pretty cool. I hope it goes north to Canada and south to anywhere and everywhere, if in fact they get it in. You should be able, as long as you have full disclosure, you should be able to invest your own money without so many rules. Be a darn good thing for everybody, for free enterprise in particular. New rules in Canada now. New rules, it's not really new, but members of Parliament are not required to post receipts with their expenses. Last year they spent upwards to $123 million. That's a lot of dough, and you don't have to put a receipt with it. What's up with that? And they're saying, hey guys, we've talked about it, we've thought about it, and we don't want to tell you where we spend your money. You know what? When somebody works for you and they have your money and they won't tell you what they do with it, what should you do? What comes to mind? I know. Fire them? Maybe. Now, also in Canada, you know, conservative members of Parliament, they're liberals too, but the conservatives for this story, a lot of them are upset a little bit at the CSSA. That's the Canadian Shooting Sports Association. These people don't have a real understanding of guns or firearms. They really don't, because the CSSA recently did an article, or a story rather, in their e-news, and it went along the lines of this. We have a prediction rather than a threat, and it is a tentative date for the next federal election. When it comes, which is in October, we think, will responsible fire owners vote Conservative? There is growing evidence that they may not. A lot of these rookie MPs called in and said, you're threatening us, how dare you? That's not a threat, that's a fact. And that's what CSSA did in their letter back to them. They said, hey guys, lots of members of Parliament, however, understand what we're talking about. And that was a vote platform of yours back several years ago, that, hey, vote for us and we're going to get rid of Bill C-68, that commie thing that's out there. And in fact, you got the votes, but you didn't do anything about it. You forgot about everybody then. Not very good, right? And that's all they're pointing out. So, hey, maybe wake up, come out of the ether and deal with it. Don't come back and say, you're threatening me. Nobody's threatening you. It's a fact. A lot of gun owners won't vote Conservative. Why would they? They only vote now because there's nowhere else to go, but they might as well stay home. That's what a lot of them are thinking. Maybe get a man on that, will ya? David Suzuki, here's a liberal. He's a typical Canadian. He's international in the sense that he's known internationally, but he's a Canadian, I guess, and he's a typical socialist. Let's all be equal as long as I have more, because that's kind of what Canadian socialists do. Here's a guy that he hugs trees all of the time, sits and deals with liberals. He is a liberal. He's down with capitalism and cha-cha. He's got $1 million homes, 2 or 3 of them. He made $12 million last year in the one company. He gets paid to speak, blah, 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 and he lives off the back of taxpayers, because they fund everything. When you're a hugger, you know, of trees, you kind of get everything given to you. Fill out this form. That's your hardest part of your work, I think. And you get another check from the government. He's doing that, and he's always bad-mouthing the right. I just don't get it. He speaks in the language of tolerance and equality and liberalism. Well, somehow don't seem to go together to me. Let me end today with this. If an unknown woman sitting beside you, say in a train, a plane, or anywhere, and she's talking on the phone, and you know when people talk on cell phones, their voices go way up, right? All you got to do to fix it is grab her phone, or get close enough you can yell into it, and yell, hang up and come on back to bed. Y'all come back tomorrow. We're going to have more for you from the right. See ya.